Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, Director of Sales for Bona Adhesives.
And I'm Rob Johnson from Bona Training. You finally got it in there.
No, I
Director.
I did a demo earlier at the NWFA, and I said I was Director of Sales, and then I got sidetracked and I was talking about something else. And the guy at Bona who actually is the Director of Sales texted me. He said, "You're Director of Sales?" So I had to go say, well, that was an accident. All right. Rob.
What do they call that? Isn't that a Freudian slip? I think that's what they call that.
I guess it could be. I have no desire to do that man's job.
You would take it in a second.
No, that's not true. Hey, I'm trying to stay on here steady, Rob.
You got it.
All right. So today we're going to do a recap of the NWFA. We just got back from National Wood Flooring Association Expo, and Rob, every time, first I'm going to say something right off the bat. First thing I did when I walked into the NWFA Expo and I had to get my badge, and I saw Sharon Schaller there, and I seen her smiling and working and handing out badges to people, and I thought to myself, that is a wonderful human being. Some people that are just so good at their job and everything, and that, you don't want to take them for granted. And I see her every year, and maybe I don't ever talk to her for 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever, but she's always there. She's always smiling. She's always helping out. And she's the member engagement manager for the NWFA. And I want to give a shout out to her because she just does such a good job, and she's just a wonderful human being, and the NWFA is very lucky to have her.
She is beautiful on the inside as well as on the outside. She is such an awesome. I've known her for 18 years now, since I started doing NWFA schools and everything. And boy, every time you see her, just the big smile on her face, she can't wait to talk to you. She is so much better than you and I.
Just absolutely the best. She's the best. Yeah, you can't see her or think about her and be positive about her. So just a shout out to her and all that she does for the NWFA. All right, NWFA. Rob, every time I go to the NWFA, it brings up a lot of emotions for me. Okay. One is, it takes me a few days to come down from it. It's so exciting for me to see all the members and everybody get together, and the meeting people and new people and people I've known and colleagues, and it's just there's no event. And I know it's hard for everybody to get away. I completely understand that. I've been times when I was a contractor when the NWFA crept up on me, the expo, and I just couldn't go. Too busy. I had jobs scheduled, and I totally understand that. Next year it's in New Orleans. Man, this event is so damn good, Rob. It's good for the soul if you're in this industry. It's good for you. And I'll tell you what, I saw some people this year that had not attended for many, many years for various reasons. Okay. And one guy and I don't want to mention names because I haven't talked to him first, and one guy who's been kind of got away from the NWFA, and he's, I kind of went MIA. You couldn't find a guy. And he showed up this year. And some other guys that for various reasons weren't around the NWFA for the last few years, I saw them this year. And I know it was good for their soul to be there. And when they got around people and they realized how much people respected them and how much they missed them, I think it was great. It was good for me to see them. It was really good for me to see them. And it was good for me to see that they were enjoying the experience, and, people were reaching out to them and hugging them and saying, man, I missed you and whatever, and glad to see you. And it just couldn't have been just could not have been any better. They gave out a plaque.
Did you mean to say that it was good for you to see them, or good for them to see you?
It was good for me to see them and good for them to be there. For
I
what?
think what you mean though was good for them to see you now that you're a director.
Well, no, no, no. I'm
Come
not like
on,
that.
come on,
No, not at all. When I'm there,
deep
I'm just a
down, deep
regular
down.
guy. No, no, no. Well, that didn't even cross my mind.
You're a regular guy with a podcast and a director
Listen,
in his title. Come
I
on.
put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you do, Rob. Actually, I don't know if it's just like you, but now it's like Circus du Soleil every time I get dressed in the morning and put my pants on with my bad knee and whatever. And it's amazing. One day I'll fall down and break a hip just putting my
Judy
pants
helped
on.
you. How'd that happen? I was putting my pants on.
Yeah, yeah. Did you get in a fight? Did you car wreck? No, no, just put my pants on. Um, Frank Krupa got was there in attendance, and all the members of the the regional training instructors gave him a plaque in appreciation of everything he's done. And I could not have been happier. I love Frank Krupa and what he's done for the industry, and he was one of my favorite instructors. And what I'll tell you something about him. I told him this story when I went to one of my first NWA classes. He wasn't there on the first or second day. I think he was coming from Idaho, and there was plane issues or whatever. He couldn't get there, but he was there on day three. We already installed the floor. We're just all we had to do was drop a medallion in. We routed out from medallion. We did the fancy border already. It was a very nice Oshkosh custom medallion. It's a beautiful medallion, and we were going to drop it in and sand it by the end of the day and put a coat on it. Okay, so I said to him, I said, Frank, I said, hey, do you not want us to glue this medallion down because in a few hours the class is over and it's going to be all tore out. And I love what he said. He goes, hey, Wayne, I didn't get on a plane and travel halfway across the country to do a half-ass job. So we're going to put it down. We're going to glue it down. And I thought, that's my man right there, man. That's pretty damn cool. So,
In another life, the company we used to work for, um, we built a training center. And the first school we did the training center, I said, let's do it big, let's bring in as many people as we can, and we get in touch with the NWFA, and we did an install, sand and finish, the whole thing to kick the whole thing off. So Frank came and he ran the school,
mm,
and I was so excited to have him because I had done a lot of schools with Frank, and really liked the way that he did teaching.
yeah.
I learned some stuff from him through the years. I just like his demeanor too. So I'm telling the brass, yeah, this guy is kick. This guy is, this is who we want
Hmm.
to lead off our first school. Everybody's there, all the higher ups, everybody. And I said to Frank, I go, do me a favor and just kick it off. I'll introduce you. I'll do introductions and everything, but I want you to. And he's like, yeah, no problem, man. I got it.
Hmm.
So I introduce him, and he stands up. There's got to be 60 people, right? And he starts, and all of a sudden, he starts to go down this rabbit hole, and man, did he start to get angry about people not doing things correctly, and how important schools are, and how important grit sequence is, and intercoat abrasion. And I mean, oh my God! At one point, I'm looking over at everybody, and everybody's looking at me like, "Is this guy for real?" And I'm like, And I keep looking at her. I go, "He's pretty passionate, he's,
Yeah.
he's pretty passionate." And at
Yeah.
one point, he he takes a board and he goes, sometimes I just like to slap people in the head because I'm not.
I love it.
And I'm like, oh my God. And but you could tell it was coming from the right place,
Yeah.
right? But it just took everybody. The floor guys got it. Anybody who was a floor guy, they got it, and they were right there with him.
Yeah.
But it was the senior brass that was like, "What is
Yeah.
this? What they're all going to be like?" No,
Yeah. You guys are in trouble before you put the first board down.
I'm like, no, he's just really passionate about doing things, the right way,
Yeah.
correctly. And it turned out to be just an amazing class. And Frank was amazing every day. Loved working with him. Um, so that's great. I'm glad you got to see him. But every time I hear that name, I just think of that first
Mm.
speech that he gave where he picked up a board and
You ever have two friends, but they don't know each other, and you like them both a lot, and then you can't wait for them to meet each other also, and when they meet each other, they don't like each other. I had a friend one time that he was a high school wrestler. He was like one of the best 100 athletes to graduate high school in 1978 in some book. And the other friend I knew was like a boxing champion. He was a stud. And he was lifting weights at the time. He was a power lifter. Both great guys. And then we met to play football, and they were on the opposite teams. Oh my God. I thought they were going to kill each other. And neither one of them know how to play football. They're great athletes, but they don't, like, they're both blocking each other. And I mean, blocking and blocking and blocking and blocking. And the play is already on the other side of the field. Like, you know what I mean? I really, and at the end we had to break them up from fighting. And I thought, well, that didn't go as planned. But you're right. Frank is a great guy, and I know it was good for his soul to be there. And he's a wonderful, wonderful guy, man. That made my day to see him there.
I think he was a teacher.
Oh, the main teacher instructor for the NWFA.
No, but I think
Oh,
I
he
think
was.
he was
He was.
he
Well,
was a school teacher.
and I told him that. I said, he made such an impression on me. And I remember he told me he was a school teacher. And you could tell he was a teacher
Yeah.
because he breaks things down so easily. And he did a phenomenal job in instructing. And that, yeah, he had a teaching background.
We should have him on the show.
Would love to. He is an artist. And
Yeah.
to this day,
We got to get him on the show. Right?
he's a,
We got to write that one down.
he's a sculptor, does hand carving, wood carving, and stuff like that. And so he's a good dude. All right. So
When you talked about friends meeting friends, that's what I'm really scared about. You and Peter meeting, because on one hand I thought, oh, you guys would be, great, but I don't know.
it's got
I
to be
don't, I don't know
I
how
will.
it's gonna go.
I will only meet him in a public place at
Yeah,
this point. He
yeah.
looks pretty big, and I've said some things. So
You said some stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Matter of fact, we had a surprise retirement party for him last week.
Ah,
It was pretty fun.
that's cool.
It was
That's
pretty
cool.
good, and even my brother said to me, "You sure you're gonna be able to get Pete there?" Because
No,
he kind of
doesn't do
goes
that.
to his own trumpet, and I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, well, yeah. My brother's like, I think you should tell him just so he shows up. You can have all these people there, you got to tell him. So I was talking to his kids, and they're like, no, 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 please don't tell him. We'll get him there. And I was like, okay. So we had probably 40 or 50 people. I rented a big pavilion down at the state park. It was awesome, right? And we get the grills going, everything, and so we get a call from Peter's daughter, we're 5 minutes out. And I'm like, I can't believe it. He still doesn't know. This is going to be great. So what she told him was, we're going to a party so you can meet my boyfriend's family. They're having a big cookout. So he's like, oh, okay. No, I'll do that. So he's walking across the field, and, he's kind of looking, and he sees me and my son at the grills, and he's like, what the hell is Bob doing here cooking for this family? Wow, did they hire him? Or, I know
Oh,
he doesn't.
yeah.
It took a while for him to figure it out.
Mm.
And so it was, like I said, it was a great surprise and everything. Had a great day. But your name came up a few times.
Really?
Yeah, your name came up, and not in a good way.
Well,
It's like, I can't believe how mean. He said, I
you
can't believe how mean went. I go, Pete, it's not, It's not that he's mean. It's just he's well above me in the pecking order. So
True.
yeah, that's just how it is.
True.
I said, but if you heard the outtakes, that's when we kind of even things up, and I'm much
Yeah.
mean during the outtakes. I said, but
You said he kind of walks to the beat of his own drum. Those are the type of guys that are more likely to beat you up in life.
yeah,
They don't follow social decorum and social norms. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, we'll meet in a public place if we meet. Okay, NWFA. Here's the thing: the hardwood floor business is hard. It's hard. It's a hard business. It's very difficult to do this job, and it is so good for the soul to come together once a year. That for everybody that there were like-minded people that do the same thing, big companies, small companies. I mean, this is your tribe, man. These are your people. Nobody else in your life will understand it like everybody here. And if you're of the mindset, I'm just one guy, I'm just, I don't do floor of the years like Lenny or some of the other guys that we know, and that this maybe is not as important or whatever. I I hope that is not your mindset, man, because everybody's important. Everybody. One guy, if you're one shop guy that works out in the middle of nowhere, it's important for you to be there because these are your people. And the NWFA did a hats off to them, and thank God for them, really. And that it gives us all a chance to get together. And more than anything, just get together and meet each other and have a drink with each other and go out to. I met some great guys, man. I met guys that I normally get to see every year and what have you. But I like it when I get to know someone I've never met before. I got a chance to meet Sean Kelly in Chicago, and he's just like me and you. You know what I mean? He has come from a family background like you and I do. He's had family in the trade. He's the last of the Mohicans. He's an old school floor guy and a damn good floor guy in the Chicago area. It was wonderful to get a chance to sit down with him. And also, I'm going to try and see if we can get this guy on the podcast. I was really Phil Valenti and his wife Julie out of they're out of the Hamptons area in New York, which I'd like to talk to him because we always think of the Hamptons, right? I mean, that's like the royalty, and he works in that's his backyard. But you know that during COVID, he told me that they went to Mississippi, him and his wife, because she has family down there, Oxford, Mississippi, and kind of got away, laid low for a while. And he listened to the podcast the whole time. So that was kind of cool to sit down and meet him and his wife. And so, yeah. So again,
I got my first mow in last week.
oh, you mowed your lawn last week?
Yeah, yep. Last
I'm
week I got my first mow in.
I'm so sorry you didn't get a chance to go. When I looked at the numbers of everybody that was going, and I said, "There's 42 people." He just didn't make the cut.
Didn't
It's
make
not.
it.
It's
Yeah.
not a. It's not a jealousy thing that I'd be worried about people talking to you more than me or anything like that. If we could have took 43 people, I'm sure you would have been. Wait a minute, we hired a new receptionist. I know. I'm sure we would have got you in. So, but you got the lawn mowed. That's important. That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
I helped Pauline take down some Easter stuff.
Wow, no kidding. That is
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Did you talk to anybody in Canada by any chance?
No, I'm going there next week. I'll save that story. I'll save that
Okay,
travel
okay.
story for you.
Well, did you get a chance to separate your clothes at all, or go through the old shirts and
I got some new underwear.
throughout
Yep,
the old?
I got some new underwear last week. Yep.
Listen, that's
And I
important.
was thinking, I know Wayne's just probably having the time of his life at the NWFA,
Yeah.
but I had a hell of a week around here too.
The last time you went to the NWFA, do you remember what your expense was? What you expensed that week? Was it extraordinarily high or something? Are you on a do not fly to Milwaukee list or something?
It kind of reminds me of we were playing in a hockey tournament when I was coaching Bum. And the tournament ends. We're in the championship game, but it ends in a shootout. So it was pretty exciting, and we won. And the way you do the shootout is you pick 3 players and they go out. And then if it's still tied, another 3. And then, well, we went through 3 rounds, right? So it was the 9th kid. There was 9 kids. We win this tournament up in Vermont. It's huge, right? And we're driving home. And it's about a 2-hour ride home, and man, Noah's bum is pretty quiet. Pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what a great, And finally, I could tell. I go, what's the matter with you? He goes, how come I didn't go? Why didn't I get to shoot? I go, because you're a defenseman. You're not a forward.
Mhm.
And he goes, well, so-and-so, you had him. He's a defenseman. I go, are you asking me what your number is? Because maybe I have to ask Greg, what's my number? So
Yeah.
next time I know.
Yeah.
So I said, you were number 14. Oh my God, he exploded. 14? I go, look, man, you're my man. I go, if we're up by a goal, you're on the ice. I know
Yeah.
you're my protector. If I'm down by a goal, I'm probably going to put a couple of flashy guys in there. He goes, during practice, I win that. I said, I know that's during practice. I said, but that's practice. I go, I know you're also a little nervous sometimes. And
Oh man.
I said, geez, I'm sorry. I thought I was doing you a favor and not putting you out there for my reasoning.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk to Greg. What's the reasoning behind?
Oh,
what's my number? Yeah.
You don't need to talk to him. I told him you and I talked. Don't even worry about it.
I don't have my number's that bad, huh?
Well, yeah. Like I said, I do get emotional around these times when I look around the room and I see all the people in that room. And in one seminar I was in, I looked across there, and the talent that's in that room, man, is just extraordinary. But then I think about guys like Jeff Rose, my dear friend that died, passed away a year ago now, that would have loved to have been at these type of things. They're really passionate about the floor. And remember Gene Klotz with Renaissance Floors Inlays? Another guy that, if you don't know that name, if you don't know who Gene Klotz is, Renaissance Inlay Floors, I think the name of his company is, look up some of his work. I've said it before, there'll never be another one of him in our lifetime. And the line will always start behind him as far as talented hardwood floor guys. He was an artist. He was incredible. There's no words to how good he was.
Hey, hold on a second. Did you get a chance to wear the belt buckle?
No. I'll tell you what.
You know what? This would have been a good time to lie to me.
I know.
You should have lied. Did Larry and Dittmer?
No. I'm
gonna tell you, warm. I want my money back.
No. Don't you think?
Give me the money back.
No, it's a great gift. I do wear mine. I do. But I'm telling you, Rob, this was a blur. It was an absolute blur. And you're taking people out, or you're going out and you're late at night, and then you're up early in the morning, and then in between that, your emails don't stop, and your phone calls don't stop, and those things don't stop. So it's not 24 hours a day, but it's 18.
Did you put a belt on?
I did, but here's the thing with a belt. Okay, you should have sent me a belt buckle with a belt attached to it already. I took apart a perfectly good belt that I ruined because I tried to put that on there and it wouldn't work. I would have sent that.
When did you do that? At the airport?
You give your kids toys without the batteries at Christmas time?
Never.
Okay, well then why did you send me a belt buckle without the belt?
Couldn't fit it all in the same box.
Okay, they will make one size box. I'm not complaining. I'm really not. I love that belt.
I can't believe you guys didn't wear the buckles.
I know. Look, there was many things we were going to do we never got to do. That was one of them. Had you been on the trip, had you made number 43, so
I could have went out and purchased belts. Maybe if I had bought everybody belts to go with the belt buckle,
we would have. I promise you, we would have worn them.
No, maybe I would have been able to go. Maybe it would have bumped me up the list a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm sure next year in New Orleans. And that's the thing. Next year it's in New Orleans. And just an FYI to everybody, I'm going the week before. I'm taking a few days off of vacation before because there's like the jazz festival. There's like 30 stages down there, and maybe you can do that, Rob. You can take a vacation the week before, and now not attend, of course, but
Greg will have me go down there and help build stages, and then get the
yeah,
hell out of there before the
yeah,
show starts.
yeah. But I'm going to go down there the week before, and it's in New Orleans, and I love New Orleans, and and I think everybody should try to get down there. Look, of course, it's a dangerous town, and a few people will probably be killed, but at least it's not Chicago. So there's that. That should be their tagline. New Orleans. At
Where is
least
it?
it's not Chicago.
New Orleans, and then New Orleans next year, and then probably the year after will be Chicago.
Yeah, yeah. See how tough we are. Um,
Did you go to the NWFA when it was in Hawaii?
no, no.
Uh, we went to the one that was in Hawaii, and I brought Pauline, the kids, and her mother-in-law, and everything. She always wanted to go to Hawaii, but you know what? The last, I don't know if they do it anymore. It's been so long since I've been to an NWFA. But the
Yeah.
Last Supper, they would always have the city who was going to host it next year come in and do a little, do a little dog and pony show about how great their city is,
Mhm.
right? And I remember we're in Hawaii, and I think it was St. Louis that had to come in. We're in Hawaii.
Oh wow, wow, wow. That's a tough act to
Yeah,
follow.
yeah, you're in Hawaii, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
wait till next year
Hmm.
when you're in St. Louis.
Yeah. You'd be pretty good. Big, but what do you call it?
And I remember us all sitting there like, oh man, I'm feeling for this team up here, trying to, they were talking about,
Yeah,
Anheuser-Busch and
Golden
ribs
Heart.
and everything. And I'm like, yeah, well, here we are in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it
Uh,
was like an open pavilion, and just this beautiful, gentle Hawaiian breeze was blowing through, and
the
everybody
ocean.
was going to go night swimming that night and everything. And I'm like,
Wow.
this has got to be the toughest job in the world. Can you imagine those people from St. Louis?
Yeah. Well, who from the Chamber of Commerce got that draw?
Where, where are we going? Well, we got to go to Hawaii and convince
Yeah,
everybody that
yeah.
next year will be bigger and better.
Hmm. Well, next year it will be in New Orleans, and like I said, hey, they can't kill us all. So it's going to be a great time. I love New Orleans. It's a great town. I know some friends of mine are down in that area, and so I'm going to go down there ahead of time, and which I've never done before, and take some time. But
So, what'd you think of the Floor of the Years? You must have seen them.
the Florida years were incredible. That Tom Aurora, I can't remember. I can't. What is his last name? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He won Florida of the year prior to that too, and he did the one today. This one with the Osprey and the Eagle in the floor. He won, and there was. I mean, they're incredible. What I like about the Floor of the Year winners this year, there's a lot of super young guys that have won that that probably don't know a lot of the older guys that won. You know what I mean? And I like that. I like that when new guys come along that don't know the history. I mean, I like it when you respect the history of it, but when a guy comes in that's kind of brash and doesn't know some of the history, I think that's cool too, man. Make way. You know what I mean? And there were some phenomenal floors this year, man. Some beautiful work, and so I was always excited to see that the emerging leaders, the guys that are coming on in the industry, is good to see those guys. And I had a chance to sit down with Adam Bissey and with Floors by the Shore, and I talked him into doing the podcast with us. Rob, he wrote a great article. If anybody hasn't seen it, it was in the Wood Floor Business Magazine and some other places. I saw it on Facebook and different areas about moisture in hardwood floors. It was one of the most in-depth, best articles I've ever seen. So, got a chance to go to the Wood Floor Business Magazine after party, and which was they did a great job and they do a good job. So hats off to them as well. I always like reading the magazine every month. So
Wood,
yeah, man.
Wood Floor Business was there.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
I'm,
It was,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah, it's listen, everybody that's in this business has a stake in this business, and it was good to see them as well. They do a great job. So,
Any listeners show up?
Mike, Rob, I'm telling you, I probably 50 times people have stopped and talked to me about the podcast, and um, I told you that, or I usually tell them that in your free time, you'd rather do something else. Rob's very standoffish, and when he's not really getting paid to do it, he's probably not going to. No, a lot of people ask about you, Rob, and I wished you were there the whole time. I told you I get
And
sentimental
they
about
looked
it
at
too.
that sea of Bona people that were there, and you said
Mhm.
he just didn't
Yeah.
make the cut.
At first, I was going, "Oh, you just missed him. You just missed him," to make it sound elusive, like you were here somewhere. But he's so busy, he's with other people. But yeah, no, Rob, I thought they were going to send you this year again. I wish that you had. If it wasn't for the HR thing you had earlier in the year, we're not quite sure how you're gonna be in public. We can't take it for sure. Be careful with that bell.
I'm, I tried to do a quiet bell. It
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't good.
That
And I
wasn't
put
cool.
the bell on the other side so it didn't hurt our listeners' ears.
Oh, okay, that's nice of you. It didn't echo out.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
used to put the bell right near the microphone.
yeah,
And I thought, okay, maybe that was too much.
yeah. No, I caught it. So, again, for floor guys, I'm telling you, it takes you several days to come down from the NWFA because you're on such a high because it's so good. It's so good for your soul. And I'm not hands on I don't do floors anymore, right? So for the guys that are grinding away every day, running machines every day, humping the wood every day, picking splinters out of their hands, you know what I mean? Uh, those guys need to be there, man, because this is your tribe. These are your guys. So and you'll come away with such a great feeling, and you learn so much. There's some great classes there, seminars. So it's whatever you want to do, however you want to spend your time. We introduced some new products. I have to tell you, we introduced flow at the Bona Quantum Flow,
How'd
and
that go over?
phenomenal. Yeah, we had a tremendous amount of orders for that product, and it was standing room only for the demo. So we had a lot of great interest, and thank you for everybody that came by for that. We do really appreciate it. We're excited about it. I hope you can tell we're excited about it. And so that went really, really well. Bona Red Out demo that we did was also well attended. Um, so yeah, it was with the Bona after party. We had with a customer appreciation. It was wall to wall people, and for that it's so good to see our customers, man. We're just so grateful for them, and to see everybody. We only get a chance to do it sometimes once a year. So it was just Rob was just a win all the way around. On the way home, I on a plane flight home, I sat across from one of the regional instructors for the NWFA, Jared Fitzgerald out of Nashville. Man, just another young guy. I tell you what, I don't know who does the hiring for the regional training instructors, but you look at that group. I'm just going to name these guys, man. It's a who's who. You got Ben Toda rather, Jason Elquist, Joe Nymark, Todd McDonald, Brett Miller, Jared Fitzgerald, Lenny Hall, John Namba, Steve Seabaugh, Terry Patton, and Ron Zimmerman and John Alfred. Hope I didn't miss anybody. But man, if you got any of those guys in your area, you just got to, get a chance to go to school. They're the best of the best. So, yep,
Did
I
you see me?
enjoyed.
Did you see me just flash my phone?
No, because I was reading mine.
Yeah. All right. I just got two calls from Sweden. I flashed up the phone.
You're
One
kidding.
is from Malmo, Sweden.
I wouldn't answer it.
Yeah.
I'm just
I,
saying, maybe it'll blow over.
there's something that's never happened before.
It takes a long time from something from HR in America to work its way to. Just tell them I need you for the podcast, okay? I'll tell you.
Oh.
I'll put a word in for you.
Oh my, I thought everything was going good. I thought I
Yeah,
was off the
yeah.
hook.
If you get a knock on the door today,
And
just
keeping my
don't.
nose clean.
Yeah. What, you got a school you said later this week?
Yeah,
Don't bring your computer.
I'm not.
Use somebody else's. If they
No
get the
way. I'll
computer
just
back.
take it like a man. Won't be the first, won't be the
Yeah.
last.
All right.
Malmo, Sweden is calling me. Well, well, well.
And you put them on hold for this. You deserve whatever's coming to you.
Eileen, do they listen as we're taping? Did I say something?
Okay.
All right. We got that on tape. Eileen said I'm good.
Don't sugarcoat it, Eileen.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all I got. I just want to do a recap of the NWFA. Thank you to all of our customers that came by, our distributors and customers and bonus certified contractors, and everybody that came by the booth. The booth was packed the whole time, and it was again. It's just my cup is filled, man. It was so great. So okay, Rob, that's all I got. Again, glad you got to mow the lawn. Throw out your underwear, get new ones. What else did you do? You changed some light bulbs.
Help Pauline.
Help Pauline. So that's important
Yeah.
too. Don't discount that. Those little domestic things like that are important. I can't remember.
Hey, I got to ask you one question.
Mhm.
I do need to ask you one. Of course, I was getting all sorts of, people texting me, Instagramming me. Where are you? How come you're not here? So I saw tons of videos of Mark Raymond up there doing all sorts of.
Yeah.
You like using him as your front man? Because I saw you always standing off to the side, and Mark was up there representing.
See, you know how hard that is for me to do, right? So
I gotta ask you why, though. I get it. Mark's
a good-looking guy.
He's a good-looking man.
Yeah.
Right. He's a definite good and well-spoken, and
the guy looks like a game show host or a California Highway Patrol officer. And so I thought, I'd use him for the. Listen, I raise people up, like I said.
right.
I wanted him to do the presentation, or somebody else, or some of the younger guys. I'm trying to step away from doing the presentations all the time. I would rather have my guys do it. But on the other hand, I'm so freaking passionate about it, man, that I can't help myself. So I let him start the presentation. And as soon as he said, Wayne, do you have anything to add? I went, that was a mistake.
Thank you very much. Clear the way.
Step out of the way.
That's it. Don't go too far, though.
Yes.
Stay with me.
Yes. Yeah. So anyhow, that's the reason for that. All right, Rob, listen, I appreciate it again. Hey, listen, this gives you something to work towards next year. This gives you a goal. I'm a big believer in goals. You know that, right?
Right.
You should set a goal of getting better so you could also go to the NWFA. You look at that list of 43 people.
Well, I might be there. next year. I'm just not sure with who.
Well, like I said, don't pick up the phone.
Malmo just called.
Yeah.
I just got a call from Malmo. So
yeah, just brush up your Swedish.
Everybody listening, hey, it's been awesome. Just in case.
Yeah.
Been a hell of a run.
Listen, don't tempt fate too much, buddy. Hey, funny man.
That part is you think I'm kidding.
Hey, it's a funny man. Okay, funny man. All right. Listen, everybody, thank you very much. Whoever I got a chance to meet at and I can't name everybody, there's too many to mention. And I feel so blessed and so fortunate to have so many friends and colleagues and everybody that I know at the NWFA. And so thank you for that. And there's so many people that I saw, like I'd see them shit, can't remember the guy's name. But anyhow, I see guys across the way and I go, oh, I want to talk to him before I go. And then boom, he's gone. And I think, oh, I'd see him later on. Oh man, I'm going to get a chance to talk to him. And boom. So you get redirected 100 different ways. So I didn't get a chance to see everybody or talk to everybody that I wanted to, but anyhow, there you go. This has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.